This is video from the village of Urif, south of Nablus, in the centre of the occupied West Bank, where soldiers detained at least 3 Palestinians. Israelis military also set up checkpoints at a number of other villages and interrogated Palestinians driving through. Israel has detained an average of 60 people every night and killed nearly 290 Palestinians in the occupied West Bank since October. Israeli forces have ended their most intense raid in the occupied West Bank since the war began. The incursion in Jenin started on Tuesday morning. Nearly 500 people have been arrested and at least 12 Palestinians killed. Abdel-Hamid joins us live from Jenin in the occupied West Bank. And so the raid after 60 hours is finally over. What's been the fallout there?
Well, certainly the army has announced that this raid was over last night. Well, the fallout here as we were driving in, this is a desolate city. Everything is shut down. I'm just going to move out of the picture here so just you can see this is a place where the Israeli soldiers were stationed. You can see on that wall they drew the Star of David, the symbol of Israel, and next to it a menorah. But also look at the wider picture here. You see this is the entrance of the refugee camp here in Jenin. You can see how the infrastructure, the roads have been destroyed. That is sewage water that you're seeing. We spoke to some people here telling us about how the bulldozers were the first ones to go in, and in their wake they break everything. Some to pave the road for the armored vehicles to go in, but also to destroy the infrastructure, to make people's life here very difficult. People are saying that this was the longest raid, but since October 7th, the Israeli army was at least 24 times here in Jenin, mainly focusing on the refugee camp in there, house to 14,000 people. As you mentioned, hundreds have been arrested. A good number of them has also been released after questioning, but they did say that they were very badly treated. They were beaten. Some had to be taken directly to the hospital. So certainly now when you ask people, well, the army has announced that this operation is finished, do you think they will come back? Well, the answer we got so far is yes.
And Hoda, as we've heard, Jake Sullivan is due in the occupied West Bank later there today to meet with Abbas. What sort of reception is he likely to receive?
Well, I think it's probably going to be somehow of a cold reception, simply because the Palestinian Authority has been completely isolated ever since October 7th. Yes, on one hand, the international community is engaging with Mahmoud Abbas, is discussing the post-war in Gaza situation and scenario with Abbas. But on the other side, we heard the rhetoric coming out of Israel, coming out of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu himself, which says there's no role for the PA in Gaza after this war. So those are going to be difficult conversations. But I think also Mahmoud Abbas will discuss things like what happened here in Jenin, this continuous pressure on the Palestinian across the occupied West Bank, and the thousands that have been detained since October 7th, the bodies of prisoners who have been withheld. There's a whole long list of complaints that Palestinians talk to you about every day, and probably Mahmoud Abbas will discuss that.
OK, thanks so much, Hoda. Hoda Abdel-Hamid for us there in Jenin.